What is up, guys? Sunscape here. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the new Metallica collab. And I'm not just talking about the item shop. Give me your thoughts also on what is going on the island, all the changes, and I'm going to give you guys my take on what I feel this collab brings to the table. So first and foremost, the item shop is fantastic. They dropped every single band member in like super styles. They did the same thing with Festival, adding a lot of free stuff also. And honestly, the free stuff for Festival is worth it on its own just to play Festival, not to mention if you want any of the bandmates from there. But I think it's great that they're not just, focusing on one band member, but they're bringing us all of them equally with different styles. That's fantastic. I can't wait to see something like that, some of that energy in the future with different bands and collabs. And honestly, I think that this is probably my favorite collab since The Weeknd when it comes to in the item shop and Festival. Specifically the item shop, we got not only an amazing emote, which is a Metallica song, 3 brand new Metallica songs that are in the item shop. I think they only have one in the festival pass. If you really want that song, play it. I'm glad that they didn't lock the other ones away, because these 3, Unforgiving, Sandman, those are like 2 of my favorite songs. Unforgiven is my favorite Metallica song, so I'm so glad I was able to cop it. But with that being said, we got the best contrail in the game, one that plays rock music as you glide down. This is such a huge W. Great contrail. I absolutely love it. It's fucking fantastic. I even got the lightning for the car just for the vibe. It's brand new. It's in the item shop. Great amount of content, and I'm so glad that they went this route with adding so much fun stuff to this collab. But the big thing, the big thing that came out today was that you can actually play the jam tracks, which is basically just music. You can play it in the background as lobby music, so you can put any of the songs. They actually work now as real songs. You can actually use them. It's like you get more from them now, and it's great. I absolutely love it. I have Unforgiven playing in the back 24/7. Like, it is fantastic. Such a great update. I didn't know how I'd feel about it, because then I'm like, well, those lobby soundtracks that are like specifically for lobbies, like no one's gonna play them, but I can see myself going back to some of them. But I would definitely play some of these songs in the background. Some of them are just so heavily goated, and I'm so glad to play this collab. Plus, this collab, it made me love Rust Lord so much more. Or I think the one that looks like Rust from the original, the original Star Lord, essentially. That guy that's a huge Metallica fan, that's like my skin right now, because I'm a huge Metallica fan, and now I identify as such. So this is so great. I absolutely love it. But the island, so for one thing, I like Loot Island. I like the change. It is so cool. I haven't been on it yet, but I've seen it a couple times, and I'll get to that in a minute. I've seen it, but it's so freaking cool. They have all the bandmates just playing songs as you get the flag. So I can imagine you and teammates getting the flag and then just jamming out. I hope they bring that back. That is so much fun, and they changed everything to look like a giant stadium. So yeah, besides the island being like huge, which it is now, it is great. I absolutely love it. But this is where we get to 2 of my critiques, I guess. So there isn't really much else besides new missions and stuff like that, and some of the members of Metallica on the island to give you stuff. But they did add the lightning guitar, which is really cool. A lot of fun. Horrible to aim. It's so hard to aim this guitar. You get 2 jolts, and that's like number 1. You get 2 jolts, and the third one, it shoots you down on the ground. It's kind of like Zeus's Thunderbolt mixed with the Wings of Icarus, but less maneuverable. Like, it is really hard to hit anybody with it. I'm gonna be, unless everyone's concentrated in one area. There's a quest on there. There's a quest on the island where you have to hit somebody with this thing. I don't even think that I'm going to be able to do that. It's going to be so incredibly hard. But that being said, guys, if you think that you're going to be able to shoot anybody out of the sky, you're going to have some good aim. I couldn't, because I think you become almost immune as you shoot lightning, as you're like flying. You're just a lightning bolt, but once you stop to redirect, that's when you're kind of open, and you're open for like a second, and you can do it again. or you're open for as long as it takes you to redirect. Basically, it gives you a few seconds, so you can get hit there, but it is hard. It's gonna be a learning curve for this thing, but I do think that adding like a weapon like this is so like, it just reminds me of Goofy Goobers from SpongeBob, but it's so like Rockstar. I absolutely love it. I think it's great. The other thing that I think that is not so great is, and this is what kind of sucks, because this is kind of the item that was supposed to be like, I mean, I saw all the power armors holding it during the trailer. It's the grappling hook, and I don't think that's a weapon from Fallout. I don't remember seeing that, but I do know you're supposed to go on the back of cars, and as the car's going, you can like shoot at the car. But I feel like they've added so many things to disable vehicles that you really don't need to use this thing. I haven't shot it at anybody yet, but I've shot it at walls, and it kind of cuts the wall's health in half. So I would imagine if you hit somebody with this thing, it's gonna do a lot of damage, but I mean, it takes a little bit to load. But I've seen people riding on the back of cars with this stuff, and people just, whoever's driving, like I've driven a car with it, with somebody towing me, and I just get out of the car, or I just get out of the car and start shooting them, like, and it's not even that hard, to be honest with you. And I feel like there's so many different things that you can do now to just get away from cars. Like, I've been EMP'd so many times now. There are so many different tricks, and the cars are not as strong as they were. So I feel like this grappling hook was extremely important, maybe at the beginning. Like, they could have dropped this instead of the boogie bombs, I think, and that would have been great. But yeah, now when the cars aren't really that strong anymore, and not many people, I've seen people on the cars, but it's not like it was like the first week of this season where everybody was in a car. People are running around on the floor with, you know, different items that they have, you know, because you can have there's a lot of items to counter cars now. This is just another item, and it just seems like they need to like buff up the cars a little bit more, in my opinion, to make them worth having. So you can be on this thing, and if you were like, you know, being pulled on it, then you can like shoot. The only thing I can see this being, the only way that I can see this being something that's useful is probably like if you're in squads and you find a car that is only a two-seater, and to say there's a third wheel or there's two more wheels. I don't know how many of these anchors can go on the back of a car, but that's one way I can see it being useful. Like, instead of people like hopping on top of the car to drive, they're just anchored on the back of it. That is probably the only way that I see this being something that anybody is going to use. But besides that, I think there's a great update with everything that's going on. Very Rockstar. It's just everything that I wanted from this season, minus the weakening of the cars. And honestly, I really wanted the EMPs like maybe the first week, because everybody was crying and bitching and everybody was being big babies about it. But now that they're out, I kind of don't want them in the game. Like, you're in a car and just get EMP'd. If you have no movement, you are stuck, and you have to leave that vehicle, and it sucks. And honestly, like, I just wish that I would rather have boogie bombs back, to be honest with you, because those EMPs, those take off your entire shield if you get hit by them. I've been hit by them, and maybe they take half, and maybe I just been hit by 2 of them, but yeah, they take your entire shield. It's tough. But those are my thoughts on this update, this Metallica update for Fortnite. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.